and we just came off fresh, hot, out of the oven of some episodes of What If. Last time we saw was episode 1 through 3.
I'm gonna have to clip it too. So like, I'm a fair guy. I love being. Matter of fact, I'm such a fair guy. I love being proven wrong.
The first one we saw was Nebula.
If Nebula was a Nova Corpse.
Second one was Quill.
If Quill had opposite life,
Yep.
I mean?
Third one
was the Happy Hogan.
The Happy Hogan Saves Christmas or something like that.
Yeah, and that's what made me say. I even tweeted it too. I went on Twitter, and a lot of people agreed. Everything was mid. I wasn't feeling what was going on. I felt it was light. I was like, compared to season 1, I was like, what the hell was this?
We didn't have a lot of time during the weekend. We were pretty busy doing our own things. New Year's came along, so we didn't get to all of the episodes right away. But eventually we said, hey, let's pack them up, sardines.
We literally got through them about 10 minutes ago.
Started off with Iron Man. What if Iron Man crashed out? And that's a very interesting one because it started with him basically. Remember when they attacked New York, when Loki attacked New York, and all of a sudden Iron Man had to go through that wormhole.
Not Loki, Thanos, because remember that's how it ends.
Right. But remember Loki was part of that.
Yeah. You're right.
He had his peoples, and Iron Man had to go through the wormhole and save everything. But instead of him coming back down, he disappeared into Earth. Into what's his name?
The Graham. He crashed on Sakaar. If you're familiar with Sakaar, you got to think Planet Hulk.
Yes.
He crashed on Sakaar, where the Grandmaster is ruling, and things got interesting. Grandmaster is a very intriguing character for the fact that like you're not supposed to take him seriously, and I like a gag character like that. And damn, I forget the character's actual name. I almost want to say something Bloomberg, but please don't crucify me. But he's been in Jurassic Park,
yes,
that old movie, The Fly. He's a great actor. He's always been he's a low key kind of guy. He doesn't do much movies, but he's great at what he does.
Yeah. It was actually pretty funny. I liked how it started. It gave us a different taste. It was not so much action. It was action, but not the action we're used to.
It was better than the last 3 episodes of What If so far up to that point.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere now.
Yes. And it started off, and what'd you say? Got the engines revving. Funny. He said that because in that episode they was racing for their lives.
Funny.
And from there, it just turned into something else.
The balls got rolling.
What was the next one? What was episode 5?
Wow. Captain Carter gets into a fight with the Hydra Stomper.
And it just so happened that in the Hydra Stomper is her long-lost lover.
I like how everything led to that. It opens up with her and Widow. They're doing their thing. It looks like they've been fighting together for a minute. Because I remember from season 1 how it ended. It ended with Fury and Widow calling her, and she came through the portal. So that's continuity.
And now she's in the future, and so now she has to adapt.
Now her and Widow are chilling and stuff. I have to say this right now. I love Peggy Carter. I love that version of Captain America. But yeah, it looks like they've been running missions. They're like back to back. They're even doing this stuff. Peggy Carter will use her shield and go into the air combos, all synergy. Of that. Awesome. I loved it. Loved it.
Yeah. And that ended pretty well. And we thought, okay, that's it.
It couldn't get better. It couldn't get better than this.
But it wasn't. Remember, because at the end of the episode, Wanda pulls her into that red portal,
and she ends up in 1602, and we get to that later.
After that Hydra Stomper, we got into Kahori, a young Mohawk woman. That's the tribe that they were part of. It started off very hee happy-go-lucky. They're in a tribe. They're going to this forbidden lake and forbidden part of the forest. And it was interesting. It was really interesting. But on their way back, they find their villages in disarray. Fire everywhere. Guess who's here? The conquistadors.
Yeah, man.
pillaging their village, and they have to find their way back into the Forbidden Forest, basically, to get away from this. They find themselves, in the beginning, they saw the lake, the Forbidden Lake, but it looked like a normal lake with normal ducks on it. But then on their way back, running from the pillaging, they fall into a hole, into a secret cave where the actual Forbidden Lake is.
I like how that happens.
Yes. Kohori gets popped by one of the conquistadors. Her brother Wata. Her brother Wata gets taken from him. She gets into the Forbidden Lake and gets sucked into a portal.
And that's where the adventure
takes
starts.
her into another world with all of her ex-tribe members from years and ancestries of years past, and that's where the adventure started.
And then we find out not only she gets powers, you don't age here, everything's peaceful here, and that whole episode, that whole story.
What was it? Her conviction is what it was. It wasn't that she wanted. Remember how the Watcher was like, it's not that she wants to keep fighting. It's her conviction that got her to get out of that world. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy.
That was a wonderful episode. One of those episodes I did not know what I was expecting, and expectations got wild.
What was the last thing I said after we finished? I was like, oh yeah, bring her back in season 3.
Hella finding the 10 rings. And who knew it was going to be that?
I thought it was gonna turn out bad. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie to you. Hella? I was like, automatically.
I'm on the same page. What?
Hella found the 10 rings.
Shout outs to them for bestowing their lessons upon her and changing her.
Yep.
I like the scene when she goes, and then what? And then what? Hell's like, I'm gonna conquer this. And then
Jai?
what? Yeah, Jai. Yeah. And then what? Then what? Digging in, trying to figure out what's the truth. She's peeling back the layers.
Ooh, and then got to the childhood hurt.
That was wow.
I want freedom out of control. I don't want to be controlled anymore.
What? And the way it ended with Odin, you needed it. It had to end like that. It had to end with her fighting her dad for that last
Remember
moment.
what he said? Whisper to the helmet. Only the one who will be mercy.
It came full circle.
And first of all, what
He
she do?
didn't-
What she do?
Bruh.
Her own father.
It came
Gave
full
mercy
circle.
to her own father.
It came full circle. He basically said, do not go back to her until she changes. That's basically what she said.
Yeah.
That's basically what he said. And then he's like, when he was on his knees, he's like, who is you?
Who are you?
This ain't my daughter.
My daughter?
This ain't my daughter.
Sparing people's lives?
Sparing-
The god of death?
This ain't the hell I know. Wow. Kudos to you, What If, turning my world upside down. I take back what I said about y'all being mid. What happened after that? And then we come full circle again because we get back to, where is Peggy Carter?
After Captain Carter fought Hydra Stomper, she went into that red portal. And then episode 8, they said, hold on. We're not done. We're not saving this for season 3.
You're crazy.
We got you right now.
It makes me wonder, what the heck is going to happen with season 3? Keep going.
So, Avengers assembled in 1602. And guess who we see? The same Peggy Carter that we saw in episode 5.
Continuity.
Crazy. And the funny thing is, what did the Watcher say? He's like, I don't do sequels.
In season 1, the Watcher did not interact like he did in season 2. He's very talkative and he's letting you know he's here.
But the thing is, there was no one for him to talk to. He was just talking to us. He's literally narrating to us, the audience. Now, he's talking to someone.
And remember in season 1, people like, hello, someone there?
Yeah.
Wow, now he's full on talking. And I like how he's come to like Peggy Carter. It's funny what he's doing. I hope you guys see. It's funny what he's doing in season 2. Like, he'll tell her, no, you can't do this, but at the same time he's telling her, yeah, you go ahead.
He's not stopping. Remember, he's
Yeah,
a watcher.
I know.
He doesn't do nothing but watch.
And he's like, don't do it.
I've watched many universes
And I feel like he's doing this. Don't do it. Peggy, don't. and like every time he goes, do you need a ride yet? Yeah.
Can we go home? Can I take you home?
Keep telling what happened in 1602.
1602, we have a interesting
Conundrum.
Avengers that are literally in 1602.
1602. Even
There's
Nick
no technology.
Fury. Nick Fury with
Nick
his mustache.
Fury with
Like
the
everyone's
mustache, he
1602
looking like a
up.
pirate.
Loki is with his bong poems. Everyone's annoyed with
Everybody
him.
hates Loki because he's boring. He's not a. He's the worst jester.
Steve Hood. Steve Robin Hood.
No.
Stephen Robin Hood.
Hold on. Isn't it Roger Hood?
Something like that. In this
Roger
dimension,
Hood.
Steve Rogers, aka Captain
Robin
Hood,
Hood.
is Robin Hood. And I like how he Loki's on a stagecoach and they're going somewhere.
Breaks into.
He breaks in and he goes, "Oh, let me lighten up this stagecoach."
It's a little too heavy for y'all.
Yeah.
Let me take what y'all don't.
That was a funny introduction.
Scott Lang is in there. He's taking all the sweets. I don't know where
Scott
he got
Lang
a
is
sweet
there.
tooth.
It's Scott Lang, Steve Rogers, Bucky.
That's it.
I think so.
Part of that trio.
That's the trio.
Yeah. Happy Hogan's in there. He's still.
But he's with.
He's on the other side. He's on
with
Thor's
in there.
side. Scarlet Witch and
Nick Fury.
and Loki. But come to find out that Scarlet Witch and my boy Nick literally had their own plans. They were just acting as if they were on Thor's side, but they had a little plan underneath because you even saw
It was
him
like
talking to Peggy.
it was like a thing of they're on Thor's side, but
realistically, when the time comes,
we're here for the bigger
The
picture of
world.
things. Yeah,
The
we're
world.
here for the bigger picture things. Yes,
Thor's
Relax,
always
Bob.
a big dummy.
Yeah,
so
he's been a
whatever.
big dummy, and it shows here again.
Yeah. But it ended with a to be continued.
Because
Because guess who comes?
who comes again?
Doctor Strange.
Oh,
at
Doctor
the end.
looking real mucky. In this one, we got a lot of. In this episode specifically, we got a lot of Watcher and Peggy talk.
Yes.
As far as him like telling her, what if? Remember that whole
Yeah,
conversation?
she's
That
like,
was a great talk.
yeah, what if?
And like you said, Doctor Strange shows up looking very strange.
Yep. He looks like the Doctor Strange from season 1.
It is, because it is.
Yeah, he looks crazy.
And we should have known when he showed up. I was like,
Oh, with Kahori. Remember,
we should have
I
known.
didn't even say that.
You should have known when he, because Corey didn't do nothing. Like, why are you at the
Kahori
Corey?
comes through and he's like, I've been looking for you.
Wow. And that's the next episode with Strange Supreme.
Strange Supreme intervenes. What if?
Yeah. And then he convinces Peggy Cardi wanted to go home bad, but Strange convinces Peggy to go after Kahori when she goes after.
Not even Kahori. Didn't you say there's a bad person? So who's the
Oh,
bad guy? And
you'll
he's
know
like,
when you see
it's
her.
It's not a guy, actually. It's a gal. Sends because apparently Kahori's been running away from him, and he's like, "Go find her."
When and she goes to her dimension, and I like how it was presented because it made it easier for Peggy Carter to figure out when she said, "Oh, he sent you. Oh, he said this, right? He's lying to you."
Yep. Straight up lies.
Straight up
I'm
lies.
not here to hurt you.
And I'm like, I should have known. And then
them bags under his eyes.
again, back to continuity. He wants to bring Christine back. Oh my, he's still on that same BS from season 1. Jesus, mother.
He has a whole bunch of.
And what he's been doing, he's been going through every
villains
universe
and
and heroes.
heroes.
At first, all you know is he has a whole bunch of villains to make his story seem good. But we find out from Kahori, not only does he have villains, he also has superheroes, and he's feeding them to the Forge to give it energy to bring his universe back. And then we get that whole little
big showdown. It was a big showdown.
We get that flashback of his universe dying again, which was needed. I like that they brought that back.
A recap, basically, of what happened in season 1. How he basically took on all those demons and became who he was, just to try to get Christine back. But Christine ended up dying anyways, and his whole world was in
Which sucks seeing again, and his true self, I don't know, whatever's inside of him showed. That big demon showed up
Nasty.
while they're having that big fight, and that scene was real dope where everyone gave her first. Hela gave her a helmet, and then Dory gave her
As everybody's about to enter
Yes.
the forge, because he drops them all down into the forge,
Mhm.
everybody's like, give him. First of all, Hela throws the helmet, give him hell.
That was wrong.
Thor throws the hammer.
That was wrong.
What's
She
his name?
said give
What's his
him
name?
hell.
Shang-Chi's dad.
Shang-Chi give you the rings.
The rings. Everybody's giving them their ultimate weapons,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
they just went with the ultimate showdown.
Went ham.
That Doctor Strange had to go, and he perished with
His wishes. He got his wish, but he just
Christine came back, but he just couldn't be alive for it.
not. And not only couldn't be alive for it, he will not be born in this universe, nor will he exists.
In that universe where Christine is alive.
Crazy.
Ay, 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 ay.
Wowzers.
It
I am not
ended-
complaining.
It ended really well. I really like how it ended. So bravo to What If.
Bravo. Thank you.
Started off really
Thank you.
slow, and it just started picking up traction after the race.
Again, I apologize for calling you mid. Even though you were acting mid, you can't lie. You were acting mid. But 1,000 miles per hour after that speed hump.
Facts.